Hello and welcome pilgrims to episode 14 of my Salem tutorial series. This episode is going to be on making a whittling bench, a sawbuck and, you guessed it, a compost bin. I trust you had no problem buying the free nails. Well, anyway, let's get started. We're going to start by building the whittling bench. We will need 10 wood blocks to make it, which I have already, luckily. If I open up my pocket, you will see here's our 10 wood blocks, which of course you get by chopping the downed tree. Okay, so let's make this bench. Now, when we learned the whittling skill, it unlocked the whittling bench. Now, what you might want to start planning on your claim is where your wood area is going to be. But don't worry, because most items you can pick up. All of these items can be picked up and placed wherever I want, including the whittling bench, including the sawbuck, and including the compost bin. But bear in mind, with the compost bin, it must be empty for you to be able to pick it up. If it has anything in it, any materials, you cannot pick it up. So just bear that in mind. Well, as I'm not going to be digging clay just yet, this clay is only for emergencies in case I get a load of psychopathic natives move in next door and dig all the clay out, which I doubt will happen, but knowing the gamester's luck, it's a possibility. So what I will do is I will build the whittling bench, I think, just here, next to the wood. Makes sense. So to make the whittling bench, we go to build, and my oh my, look at all the items that are now unlocking for us. All future episodes. How fantastic is that? And they're all going to be good ones. Right, okay, so where is the whittling bench hiding? You're asking yourselves. Let's check in tools and utilities. And did I guess correctly? Yes, there it is, the whittler's bench. So left click on that. It will now show the ghost icon, and we will put it as close as we can to the water. So we'll put it just over there. There we go. Let's bring this down. Okay, remember, left click to pick a log up. Hold the left shift key down. Keeping it pressed down, left click once, now roll the mouse button and it will add all the items. Left click build. Bam, there we go. How easy was that? We now are proud owners of a whittling bench. Okay, so that was easy. So now let's make a sawbuck. You will need 1 nail and 5 wooden blocks. So let's now make a sawbuck. We will place it here, keeping our wood area by the water. So go to build and go to tools and utilities, and down there you'll see the sawbuck. Left click and we will put it, how perfect, just there. Well, it looks kind of perfect, so let's go with it. Okay, let's bring that down. Let's add 1 nail and left click to pick up a block. Hold and keep the left shift key pressed, and then left click with the block and then scroll your mouse. There we go. Now click build. And there we are. We now have a sawbuck. How easy was that? Okay, now it's time for us to make a compost bin. We will need 6 boards, 4 wooden plugs and 2 nails. To make the boards, we will put a tree on the sawbuck and saw 6 boards. So let's do that. Okay, so we will go to the adventure menu and lift. We will click on the downed tree. We will right click on the middle of the sawbuck It then puts it on there for us. We will now right click on the log and we will make 6 boards. Okay. I have just fallen flat on my face because we need a saw, and there is absolutely nothing I can do about that, because to make a saw, I think I am bang out of luck. Oh no, stone saw. Maybe I'm not. Okay, this episode's now going to be a little bit longer than what I first presumed. We are going to need 1 additional wood block, and we are going to need some granite. Good, let's show you how to get granite. Yes, this episode's going to be longer. Stop having a go at me, the gamester couldn't help it, he's bound to slip up some point, and now you've seen him do it. Okay, we are looking for an odd shaped rock. In fact, if I remember correctly, there are a load just here. How cool is that? So what we will do, we will not disrupt their boulders. We will come over here and simply take one of these. So we will use the lift command and grab a granite boulder. Now we will take this back with us. Cool, I knew there was a good reason I chose this spot. How lucky was that we can make a saw? I thought this episode was going to be over and I'd have to delete it and start all over again. So very fortunate. So there you go, you got more for your money's worth. Not that it cost you any money, of course, because the game is free and so am I. Right, let's place this. Where are we going to place this? We will place this. See, that's the thing. I always get this thing of where to put stuff. There's never a good place, really, because I never have enough land. Let's put it there. There you go. Right, so we need 1 granite. So we right click, click chip, and we should get a granite. There we go. We've got our granite. We need 1 block. So let's chop another block. There we go. Let's now craft ourselves a saw. Right, so we now have got the saw to make the boards. Now the thing is, until we make ourselves a tool belt, which we will have to keep switching our tools. So we have to take the axe off and we have to put the saw in there. Once we have a tool belt, we can put all the tools in the tool belt and it will automatically switch whatever tool we need. How fantastic is that? Anyway, let's now go make some boards. So right click on the wood and left click make boards. We need 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're out of phlegm. Good job it doesn't knock us out. Thank you to Bobby for mentioning about that. I'm sure I was mining and it knocked me out. I'm sure there's some things you can do that will knock you out. Anyway, I've not been knocked out. Let's just eat some food instead of waffling at you. You've probably had enough of my waffling by now. Right, okay, let's wait to get some more phlegm. We only need 2 more boards. Hoping it's going to fill the bar up. Let's carry on. 5 and 1 more. There we go, we got our boards. So we have our 6 boards. We have our 2 nails. Now we need to make 4 wooden plugs. So to make the 4 wooden plugs, we will need 2 wooden blocks. But we need to equip our saw, so our axe. So let's put the saw there. Let's put the axe back. And let's chop 2 wooden blocks. Actually, before I do that, let's check, because I think I might have 2. No. I've got 1. Alright. I don't want to waste wood. I don't want to waste anything at this stage. pretty soon it won't matter with anything. We'll be able to make everything. We'll be able to make clay, we'll be able to make water, we'll be able to make stone, everything. So it doesn't matter. Right, we got 2. Oh, and I also chopped 2 extra. Never mind. Okay, to create the wooden plugs, right click on your Whittling Bench. So you hear that noise. Left click on Craft. Left click on Processing and Materials. And we want wooden plugs. Okay, so we now click Craft. Now bear in mind, when you whittle, it lowers your insanity. Not that we need our insanity lowering, because I want to show you going mad at some point, but just bear that in mind. Okay, so we've got 2 wooden plugs. We will craft 1 more. We now have all the components necessary to make our compost bin. Okay. Right, so let's now choose somewhere good to put our compost bin. Well, everything's been going on the clay so far, so why change? Let's build it here. Might get a little blocky. Now, a little tip to you, before we place the compost bin, remember, display personal claims. That shows us our claim. We want to make sure we keep it on the claim. Otherwise someone will nick our humus. And we don't want that now, do we? Right, to create the compost bin, left click on Build. Left click on Tools and Utilities. And left click Compost. Okay, now why didn't it do that? Why have we not got the compost bin? Okay, let me just eat something while I think about this. Let me see. So, what was the last skill we unlocked? So, let's see. We've got agriculture. We should be able to make the compost bin. So, for some reason though, it doesn't want to let us. Yeah, it won't let us. This is strange. It's not because we haven't got the materials. It's not because we haven't got the skills. So what I will do is quickly log off and back on. Okay, let's close out completely. Let's minimize that, and let's go back into Salem. Okay, let's log in. Let's do my character. And let's see if it's going to behave itself now. So let's show our deed again. Let's click on Tools and no, where was it? So I haven't unlocked the compost bin, which is very strange. Because unless I haven't learned agriculture yet, I may not have done it in my haste. So let's just check. Oops, I haven't done agriculture. Right, okay, let's quickly remedy that. I'm sorry about this, but again, you're going to get a bonus skill now. I'd forgotten all about this skill, so we need to get stocks and cultivars up. Let's see, what have we got? So, I know exactly what we need. Not? No, I do actually. I know we need some of them I always forget what they're called. There you go. That's what we want. Tumbleweeds. Yeah, it overdoes it. But then I'm desperate, so we need to do it. We don't get herbs and sprouts, but never mind. Let's just grab them. Does that give us herbs and sprouts? I'm willing to study anything at this point. Yep, we can get it through a beetle. Right. Okay. So let's study. Let's do our stocks and cultivars. Let's eat. Just wait for the food to regenerate. Let's study. No, we've got to wait for it to go right back up. There we go. Let's study. Okay, now we need herbs and sprouts. Let's study once I've eaten. Yeah, do you know what happened there? Let's let you benefit from my mistakes. If you log in with one of your other characters and that character has learnt loads of stuff and then you switch characters, there's a little bug in the game where it still shows all that they knew. So that's why I thought I could make it, and it caught me out a good one. But then the gamester works on his feet, so he's always prepared and always ready. So let's study this. Let's learn agriculture. And now we have the compost bin. There we go, all is well. Don't panic, don't scream at me. I only made it last a few extra minutes. Okay, so we'll come down here and continue with what we wanted to do, which was make a compost bin. So left click on the compost bin, hold down the left shift key and scroll the mouse wheel and it will straighten it up for you. What we want to do is I'm going to turn the screen so I can get it just on the deed. Yep, that's enough on the claim, and it's enough of a gap from that basket. Left click. Oh, the ground is not flat enough. Right, okay, it only needs a little bit of flat ground, so what we'll do is we'll try over this side. Okay, so, oops, wrong way. Cool, you see we're opening up tons of stuff now. Okay, scroll, check it's within the deed, which it is. Perfect spot, let's place it. There you go. Right, so let's add the boards first of all. Hold the left shift key down, keep it pressed, left click, scroll the wheel, that puts your boards in. Left click on a wooden plug, hold the left shift key down, left click, scroll the wheel. Left click a nail, hold the shift key down and scroll. Click build. You see, some structures will take longer and longer to build, but even the longest one is not that long. By worm standards anyway. Where the length is in learning the skill progressions. Okay, we have ourselves a beautiful compost bin. Now, shall I pick it up just to demonstrate? Oh, go on then. I'm probably going to mess its position up. You see, you can pick it up as long as it's empty. Oh, there we go. You see, I knew I was going to do that. Now it dumps it back down, not straight. But that's the gamester for you. He looks like he's drunk a bottle of scotch when he's placing his items. Still, you know better. Now, so, why would we build a compost bin? Why have I made you go to all this trouble of building a Whittling Bench, a Sawbuck, chopping down trees, getting nails, all of this just to achieve this? Well, you know we are on the path to cotton. Now, in order to farm cotton, we want to make sure we can fertilise the fields. We will need humus in order to prepare the fields so we can plant cotton on the fields. Now, we don't want to learn cotton farming and then end up having no compost, because compost takes 2 hours to start appearing in your bin. Every 2 hours you will get another humus. So, You are going to end up making about 20 compost bins along with me. Yes, the gamester's crazy, and so you may as well be as well. So we're going to make 20 compost bins. Now, at the beginning of this episode, you was probably thinking, Gamester, you mad old dog, why have you got a load of grass in your pocket? Well, the best item to use for filling the compost bin is grass. But before we do that, I'm going to switch to the Salem, wonderful Salem wiki, and I'm going to read to you what it says. The compost bin is used to create humus, which is integral to growing crops and gardening. To produce humus, fill the compost bin with a variety of items. Every 2 hours the bin produces one humus, with a chance to also produce a common earthworm or an earthworm python, as long as there is material to be composted and room in the bin for more humus. While the compost bin can only hold 50 fill points worth of material, the fill bar lists what percent full the bin is. This often confuses new players. To determine how many fill points are currently in the bin, divide the number under the bar by 2. Humus purity is determined by the average purity of worms and pythons placed within it. You can raise the purity of worms and pythons by placing them in a container next to any plant items of a higher purity. So that is what we will do. I'm currently doing a little test with my other character. I've placed earthworms in just about 50 containers next to different plant types, trying to see which one grows, and so far I've drawn a blank, but the gamester will get there. Now here is a list of items you can fill the compost bin with: any mushrooms, any plants, any berries, any meat, wood choppings, any food item, common earthworms, and turkey feathers. Now once we start getting common earthworms, and I'm going to show you how we can get a ton of them pretty soon, they will be the best thing to use on our turkey coops. For our compost bins, we will stick to, like I said, grass. Grass has many uses, as you all know. Right, okay, so here's going to be a little trick for you. Now, if you only have a few food items, I strongly advise you to put them in a container, because when we go through dropping the grass into the bin, the game has a nasty habit of grabbing our food to put in there as well. What we're going to do, left click on a piece of grass and hold the left shift key, and then right click on the bin, keeping the left shift key pressed. And when you do that in the right place, it will start putting materials in. So, do you see it grab the food? I don't want it to do that, but it does it. So what we'll do is we'll pull it in manually. So pick it up, right click, and it will keep filling it. It's a shame I can't right click, but I've got too much food on me. So, and I'm not going to go cooking all the food again. So I'll just individually, and you see as we put the food in, this bar to the right, which is organic materials, will fill up. So let's see how we do with this grass. It is making a sound as I pull it in, so let's turn the sound up. Okay, one thing to mention. Whilst you're off picking grass, there is a very good chance that you will get a very rare item, and that item is this brilliant honeydew. Check out them proficiency points. Yes, you want to go picking that grass till your pockets are full, and don't go smoking it, use it in the bin. So let's keep filling this bin. Yeah, we got plenty of grass. And it gave us a lovely bit of honeydew. And it's got 7 uses on it, you'll notice. But there's no way we're going to use that yet, because we'd be wasting it. Look at that. I mean, it's fantastic. I'm going to be picking grass all night now. Try and get some more. See, now, if I didn't have food in my pocket, I could have just shift and right clicked rapidly and put this all in the bin within about 10 seconds. But having to do it manually takes a little longer. But are we bothered? No. See, we're using grass now because it's abundant around us and it's easy to get. Oh, we can put the wood choppings in as well. There you go. Only gives us half, but at least it's something. Right, okay, let's have a look how we're doing. There we go. That's plenty. I can tell you now, if I log off for 8 hours, this will still have some. It'll be about here. So it's all good. There we go. Let me check if there's anything else I wanted to waffle tell you about. Yes, so, well, with this bin, with it full up now, every 2 hours a new humus will appear. You can now start to see where we're going. Remember, this is just the first step on the road to cotton. Now, ideally, okay, our claim is not that big, and what we will be doing is filling it up with fields, and I'm going to do a lot more foraging and get a lot more money and make this claim a lot bigger. And then I'm going to fill it up with, you guessed it, fields. Now, in order to effectively feed all of them fields, we're going to need loads of compost bins. So I hope you like making money with selling them rattler timber skins and making the savage charms and any other way you can think to make your money. You sell, you make money, you buy nails, you make compost bins. You're aiming for about 20, I kid you not. Now, filling them up will be another matter, but the good news is later on we will find a really fantastic way to fill these bins, and I'm not going to ruin it or spoil it by telling you now. I'm going to let you see in future episodes. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Goodbye.